Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Right, we are diving straight into, well, what looks like an absolutely thrilling finish to the Rugby Championship, the TRC, yeah.
Hmm.
Because this final round, it's left us with basically a three-way fight for the title. You've got the Springboks, the All Blacks, and the Wallabies, all technically still in with a shout.
It's exactly the kind of finale you hope for, isn't it? Argentina, sadly for them, they're confirmed out of contention for the trophy itself.
Right.
But crucially, they could still play a massive spoiler role against South Africa. The margins here are just, well, razor thin.
Yeah, and that's really our mission today, isn't it? To kind of cut through all that complexity for you listening. We're not just going to list scores.
No.
We want to unpack the rules, look at those vital tiebreakers, and spell out exactly what each team needs to do to actually lift the trophy this weekend.
And we should probably start with the current leaders, South Africa. They've played some phenomenal rugby to get here. They're holding that top spot, leading the table, but only by a single point over New Zealand.
Just 1 point. And then 4 points behind the books, you've got Australia, who, as we'll get into, have this interesting historical edge in certain scenarios.
You do.
Okay, but before we really get stuck into the rule book and all the what-ifs, please make sure you hit subscribe to Rugby Obsession.
Yeah, definitely that.
We want you to get all our analysis right after these huge final games. So yeah, click that subscribe button now if you haven't already.
Okay, so the foundation, the rules. Because with three teams this close,
It feels like it's got to come down to tiebreakers, doesn't it?
it really could. Which means understanding these details is, well, everything.
All right, so standard points first. That's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, standard league points, 4 for a win, 2 for a draw, 0 if you lose by more than 7 points. Simple enough.
Okay.
But it's those bonus points, potentially 4 over the whole tournament, that so often make the difference. They can really define who wins.
Right, those bonus points always add drama. Remind us quickly, how do teams get those extra points?
Okay, so there are 2 ways. First, the attacking bonus. You get 1 point if you score 3 tries more than your opponent.
Okay. Encourages attack.
Exactly. Keep things exciting. Then there's the defensive bonus, or losing bonus point. You get 1 point if you lose, but only by 7 points or less.
Ah, right. The close loss point.
Yeah, and, theoretically, you could lose narrowly and score 3 more tries than the winner, which means you'd actually get 2 league points from a loss.
Wow. Okay.
It's a system really designed to reward teams for being competitive, even in defeat.
Makes sense. Now the crunch part. What if teams end up tied? Same number of league points. That's where the tiebreaker hierarchy kicks in.
This is crucial, and the order matters immensely. We need to go through it step by step.
Okay, let's do it. What's the very first tiebreaker?
First up, who has the most outright wins across the whole series? Just total number of victories.
Simple enough, and if they're still tied after that?
Then we look at head-to-head wins. So who won more matches, specifically against the other team or teams they're tied with?
Right, so performance first. Wins overall, then wins against each other.
Exactly. If somehow that still doesn't separate them, then we get into the maths.
Ah, the heavy math bit where like one kick from weeks ago could decide it all.
Precisely. The next step is the overall points difference or margin. That's your total points scored for minus total points scored against across the entire TRC series.
Okay, overall aggregate.
Yep. And if that incredibly is still level, then we hit what's often the killer detail,
Which is
the points difference or margin, specifically in the head-to-head matches just between those tied teams.
Okay, wait. Why is that head-to-head aggregate so often the deciding factor compared to the overall one?
Well, think about it. In a situation with maybe 2 or 3 teams tied, or especially in the scenario facing the All Blacks, which we'll get to, that head-to-head aggregate directly measures how you performed against your closest rivals for the title. It's a much sharper focus, a sort of more direct measure of who came out on top in those key battles.
Right, it isolates the results between the contenders.
Exactly. And that's the crucial difference, for instance, between the All Blacks and the Wallabies' chances if they happen to finish level on points with South Africa.
Gotcha. So, recap. Wins first, overall, then head-to-head. Then points difference, overall, then head-to-head.
That's the core sequence. If by some miracle they're still tied after all that, which is exceptionally rare.
Yeah.
The very last checks are which team scored the most tries in the entire series. And then the absolute final resort, if even tries are equal, the title is shared.
Shared. Wow. Has that ever happened?
Not in the TRC era, I don't think.
Okay.
The system is usually robust enough to find a single winner based on those margins.
Okay, good. Let's apply this then. Start with the leaders, the Springboks. They're in the box seat, as they say.
Definitely. And a huge part of that is the schedule. They play last,
Right. They get to watch the Wallabies versus All Blacks game first.
which is an enormous strategic advantage. They'll know exactly what happened in Perth before they even run out against Argentina in London.
So they can adjust their game plan accordingly.
Precisely. It clarifies their task immensely. Look, if they manage a bonus point victory against Argentina, that's it. Title secured. Full stop.
Regardless of what New Zealand did earlier.
Regardless, a bonus point win takes them clear.
Yeah.
And achieving that would mean they retain the TRC title for the first time ever. That's a massive carrot dangling in front of them.
Huge motivation. Okay, but what if New Zealand does get a bonus point win over Australia in that first game? Does that change the box calculation?
It actually makes it slightly easier for them, in a way.
How so?
Because if the All Blacks get 5 points, the Springboks then only need a win of any kind against Argentina. 4 points is enough. They wouldn't need the attacking bonus point in that specific scenario.
Ah, okay, so any win would put them out of reach if NZ got the bonus point win.
Correct. The only way South Africa really lose control is if they fail to win their final match. A draw or a loss opens the door.
Right. Let's talk about the chasers then. The All Blacks. 1 point behind. They absolutely need a favor from Argentina, don't they? Like a big one.
They do.
Yeah.
They're relying on the Pumas to pull off an upset against the Springboks. Their own task is clear.
Yeah.
Beat the Wallabies, ideally with a bonus point.
But even if they do that and Argentina beats South Africa,
Yeah.
it's not straightforward because of the tiebreakers.
This is where it gets really complex, and it comes back to that head-to-head aggregate we talked about.
Okay.
Here's the crucial point. Unlike Australia, the All Blacks simply cannot afford to finish level on league points with South Africa. It doesn't work for them.
Why not?
Because when they played South Africa earlier in the championship, the Springboks won that mini-series on aggregate points. The score was 60-34 across the two games.
60-34. Wow, that's a big gap.
It's a 26-point cushion for South Africa in that specific head-to-head tiebreaker. So if they finish level on league points, South Africa wins the title immediately based on that aggregate.
Okay, so no sharing, no further tiebreakers needed. If NZ and SA tie on points, SA wins.
Exactly. Which means the All Blacks must finish clearly ahead of South Africa on the final table. Level is no good for them. Their margin for error is basically zero.
So for the All Blacks, it's win big against Australia and then pray South Africa get absolutely nothing from their game. Or maybe just one losing bonus point at most.
That's pretty much it. They need a point swing, maximize their own points, and hope the Borks stumble badly.
Right, which brings us nicely to the dark horse, the Wallabies. 4 points adrift. Their fate is really out of their hands, isn't it?
Almost entirely, yeah. Their challenge looks the steepest on paper.
Yeah.
But they have this one very specific, potentially winning scenario if things fall just right.
Okay, what do they need? First things first, they have to beat the All Blacks, obviously.
Absolutely, that's non-negotiable. Their clearest path is beat New Zealand and have Argentina beat South Africa. But crucially,
There's a catch.
South Africa must not get a losing bonus point in that defeat to Argentina.
Wow, that's asking for a lot. A specific type of loss for the books.
It is a very precise sequence. But if that exact scenario unfolds, Wallabies win, say 4 points. Books lose by more than 0 points. Then the Wallabies would finish 1 point ahead of South Africa and snatch the title.
Okay, that's one path. Any others?
The other way is a bonus point win for Australia over the All Blacks, 5 points, coupled with South Africa getting 0 points against Argentina. That also works.
So basically, they need a complete failure from the Springboks in London.
Pretty much. They need their rivals to falter completely. But here's the kicker for Australia, the really interesting part, and what makes their situation different from New Zealand's.
Yeah.
What happens if the Wallabies win, the Boks lose or draw, and they do end up tied on points?
Ah, the head-to-head aggregate again. Do the Wallabies have the edge there against South Africa?
They do. Remember, there are 2 matches. Wallabies 1-1, Boks 1-1. But the aggregate score across those 2 games was Australia 60, South Africa 52.
60-52, so an 8-point advantage to the Wallabies.
Exactly. So if Australia and South Africa finish level on league points, Australia wins the title because they won that head-to-head aggregate series.
Okay, so that's massive. Unlike the All Blacks, the Wallabies can afford to tie with the Springboks.
Correct. It gives them a slightly better chance in a tied scenario,
Yeah.
even though they start further behind on points overall. They need the most help from Argentina, definitely.
Right.
But if they get that help, that head-to-head advantage could be golden.
It just shows how every single point, every tackle, every kick throughout the whole tournament matters, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, you hear comments like from Felipe Contepomi apparently being sort of fed up with errors creeping in across the teams.
Yeah.
Those little mistakes, a missed tackle here, a silly penalty there, they just get magnified massively when the difference could literally be an 8-point aggregate margin from a game played weeks ago. It's intense. It really is. This whole mathematical puzzle is what makes this final round so captivating. And look, given all these possibilities, these tight margins, we really want to hear what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
Jump into the comments below. Let us know your predictions. Who's going to win this thing? Are the Springboks going to hold on, or can one of the chasers pull off the upset?
And while you're down there typing out your winner, please do make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. Tell your friends, too. We want everyone following along.
Please do.
Yeah.
Okay, so recapping the finale. 2 massive games left.
First up, Wallabies versus All Blacks in Perth. That really sets the scene.
Yep. And then the grand finale, Argentina versus South Africa in London, where the Springboks will know exactly what equation they need to solve.
The stakes just feel enormous, and not just for the TRC trophy itself, right?
Absolutely. Connecting this to the bigger picture, this weekend's results are going to have a significant impact on the World Rugby rankings, which, down the line, could influence World Cup seedings, especially for teams like the Springboks and All Blacks. So yeah, these are high-stakes games on multiple levels. Global implications.
And looking at the whole thing, you just feel the immense pressure, particularly on South Africa. They've done the hard work to get into pole position.
Fantastic achievement, yeah.
But now they have to seal the deal. They need to back up that great performance in Durban last time out and actually secure this title defense. If they do it, holding on to the Rugby Championship trophy, that would be a really big moment for them. First time ever in the TRC.
It really is a legacy weekend for them. They know the maths. They have that advantage of playing last. But, they still have to go out and perform against a Puma side that has nothing to lose.
And would love to spoil the party in London.
You bet they would. Argentina will be fired up for that.
It is just set up perfectly. It's going to be absolutely gripping viewing. Make sure you don't miss any of our reaction and analysis after these final matches.
So hit that subscribe button one last time for Rugby Obsession.
Please do. And share your final predictions with us, too. We want to see who gets it right.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.